Hello, welcome back to another video. My name is Gemma and today we're going to see how much I can overcommit on my August TBR. So, run an order for today. We're going to go through last month's TBR, which is affectionately becoming known as all the books Gemma didn't read in July. Then we will do my TBR game for August, and then I'll run through readathons, Budy Reads, all the other good stuff. So let's get started, shall we? So last month's TBR, we had a translated book. I chose Death and the Penguin by Andrey Kurkov, and didn't get to it. A TBR vet, I chose I'll Be Gone in the Dark by McNamara, and I did get halfway through this and I have decided to DNF it, so it does count as read for the purposes of this, but yeah, I did DNF it. Talk more about that in my wrap up. Then I had a classic. I chose Jason and Medea by Apollonius of Rhodes, and didn't get to that. And then I had to pull from the mug of intimidating reads, and I pulled The Once and Future King by T.H. White, and also did not get to that. So 1 out of 4, which means I failed. So in the usual way of things, I will put up a poll next week asking you to help me choose a diverse book to gift to my local preschool. So usually I donate books to the primary school, but because we're in the summer holidays, I'll be donating to the preschool. The winner from last month was Little People, Big Dreams, Nelson Mandela, with 53% of the vote. So yeah, I'll put another one up next week. So thank you to everyone who voted. The preschool will be very pleased to be receiving a new book. So that's last month. That's done. Let's see what this month has in store for us. So if you are new to my channel, my TBR game is really simple. It's based on the card game 21s. Each suit corresponds to a format, so physical, ebook, audio, or Hearts is Wild, and each number has a prompt. So the cards all have prompts written on them. It's really easy. I try not to go over 21. If I go over 21, I have to pull from the mug of intimidating reads. And if I get close to 21 and I decide to stop, then I just pull cards to get me up to 21. It should be clear as we go in. I'll leave the playlist linked below if you're interested. And yeah, let's see what the cards have in store for us today. Okay, so first up, a 3, a non-fiction in any format. Okay, so 3 of Hearts, which is a non-fiction in any format. So for this, I think I'm going to go for an audiobook, and I'm going to go for the Anthropocene Reviewed by John Green. This is a collection of essays, I think, around the Anthropocene era, the era that we currently live in. I don't really know too much more than that, but it did win the Goodreads non-fiction category last year, so I'm quite looking forward to getting to it. And yeah, we'll see what that's like. Okay. A book in a series on my Kindle. Taking us to 8. Okay, 5 of Diamonds. So that is a book in a series on my Kindle. So for this, I'm going to go for Empire of Gold by S.A. Chakraborty. I am currently reading Kingdom of Copper, which is the second in this trilogy. I am hoping to have it finished by the end of the month, but it might just roll over a smidge. And I've been reading that with the lovely Ellie at Bibbidi Bobbidi Books, and I think she's going to go straight into Empire of Gold as well, because I'd forgotten how amazing this series was. I can't believe I stopped reading after the first one. So I'd really like to finish the trilogy off and just back to back them. So I'm going to add this to the TBR. If you're unfamiliar with this, this is a high fantasy series set in Egypt and the Middle East, following a few characters, but predominantly Nari, who is a young woman living in Cairo, and she is a bit of a swindler, but she's really interested in medicine, and she has this sort of affinity for it. And she is performing a ritual one day and accidentally summons a jinn warrior, and stuff goes down, and they flee to the city of Davabad, and the story sort of takes off from there. But it is brilliant. I'd forgotten how amazing it is, and in book 2 the political tensions are rising, and I love a political fantasy. So yeah, I really don't think I'm going to be able to stop reading after the second one is finished. So we're going to put Empire of Gold on the TBR. Ooh, a wild card. Any book I want on Kindle. So I'll be using that ace as 1, clearly, otherwise I'll go bust. So that is 9. Okay, Ace of Diamonds. So that is any book I want on Kindle. So for this, I'm going to pick Flowers in the Attic by Virginia Andrews. I will come back to this one because this is on a readathon TBR. So put a pin in it. That's the book I'm choosing for this prompt. Another ace. Wild card. This time I've got an audiobook, so any book on audio. Okay, another ace. So another anything I want, but this time on audio. So I'm going to go here for The Colony by Audrey Magee. So this was just longlisted for the Booker Prize. I'm so excited for the Booker Prize, so I'm going to try and jam in as many as I can into this month's TBR. And I don't know too much about this. I think it's set on like an Irish island, and it's to do with language. Oh, I don't really know, but I kind of want to go in blind. I've seen a lot of people have really loved it. I have also heard good things about the audiobook, so I'm going to pick this one up on audio and see what I think. Okay, so a physical book, new release, and that is 20. Okay, King of Hearts. So any format, but a new release. So this plays beautifully into my trying to cram Booker books in. And for this, I am going to go for Maps of Our Spectacular Bodies by Maddie Mortimer. Again, I can't quite remember what this one is about, but I think it's to do with a woman with cancer, and maybe we have like the cancer's perspective. I'm not really sure, but the cover is stunning. Again, heard nothing but praise for this book, and it is en route to me now. I watched the Booker long list yesterday, and me and Scott reacted to it, so I'll link that video below if you want to see our thoughts from Gunpowder Fiction and Plot, sorry. And yeah, I instantly bought 2 books. So I bought Spectacular Bodies and Glory, and yeah, so I'll try and get to that one, Spectacular Bodies, in August. So I'm not going to pull another card, so we'll just pull the extra for the one and then we're done. But this is quite a chunky TBR. So okay, the extra is a 5-star prediction physical book. Okay, so this is turning out to be quite a big TBR. And we have a 5-star prediction. So back like in the olden days when I first started my channel, I did a 5-star predictions video. Again, I'll link it below. And so I chose a book from there, and I couldn't not choose The Four Winds by Kristen Hanna. So 2 of my lovely booktube friends, Emily at Novell Novels and Danny at Danny's Book World, read this a couple of months ago, and they're like, oh my god, Gemma, how have you not read this yet? I was like, I know, I pre-ordered this and it came out last February, over a year ago. I pre-ordered it, I still haven't got to it, so it's going on this month's TBR, and fingers crossed I will squeeze it in. So yeah, this is set in Dust Bowl era America, and I think it follows a mother and her children as they sort of cross the country looking for a better life, effectively. That's all I really know, that's all I really want to know. Kristen Hanna has a habit of emotionally destroying me, so I'm in. Let's do this. So yeah, that's 6 books before we get into all the other things that I've committed to. Excellent. So let's start with readathons. So the first readathon that I'm taking part in is Garbaugust, which was the mastermind of Criminology, and there are several booktubers that I absolutely adore co-hosting this, so I had to take part. So one of the books that I am reading for Garbaugust is Flowers in the Attic, which I did manage to squeeze into my TBR game. I'm going to be buddy reading that with Alice from Alice and the Giant Beep and Jack at Spread Bookjoy. So yeah, we're gonna give that one a go. I think broadly it's about incest. That's all I know, but apparently it's garbage, but it is garbage that I kind of want to read, so that is good. I have to say, I'm not a massive garbage reader, so I want to participate in this readathon. I want to push myself out of my comfort zone. So there are different prompts for the weeks. I'm not going to do all of the weeks, but I think the first week is like explicit sexual content or something along those lines. So if you haven't been here before, I don't cope well with romance or smut. It's just not my jam. So I thought what might be quite fun to do is to read Ice Planet Barbarians by Ruby Dixon. So this has sort of done some rounds on BookTube, and I think broadly a woman gets like abducted by aliens, and they're hot aliens, and smutty stuff ensues. It's what I believe occurs. So in my mind I'm going, that's not a book for Gemma. So I thought maybe I'd vlog my reaction to reading that book. Luckily it's only like 180 pages or something, and it's on Kindle Unlimited, so I don't have to actually purchase it. But I'm gonna give it a go in the name of Garbaugust. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. The other readathon that I'm going to be taking part in is the summer mixtape readathon, which is hosted by quite a few booktubers that I have followed since before I had a booktube channel, and I really adore all of them. So it's hosted by Books and Bargains, What Victoria Read, Jean, Bookish Thoughts, and Literary Diversions. So they've got like a bingo board and they've got prompts, so I'm going to try and join in. I am going to try and like squeeze my other books into this, so let me run through the prompts and you'll see what I mean. So book one, or prompt one, is a book with nature on the cover. The Four Winds has barley on the cover, so I'm counting that. Prompt two is an unseasonal read, and so for this I'm going to pick up Small Things Like These by Claire Keegan, which I believe is set over Christmas in an Irish town, super short, and on the book along list. Look at me, multitasking. Only took 12 sodding months to, figure out that you're supposed to like double up on this stuff. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Prompt three, involving food or spicy, or a spicy book. So I think Ice Planet Barbarians would fit this prompt pretty well. I actually feel like I have a twitch every time I think about that book. So we'll see. Prompt number four, set in another country, and for that I'm going to choose S, which I am buddy reading with Fraser and is on my Women in Translation TBR. If you missed that video, I'll leave that link below. But this is set in Yugoslavia, Bosnia as it is now, around the Balkan War. So by Slavenka Djukulic. So yeah, that's the one I'm going to put in for another country. And then prompt five is based on a favourite summer song or a free pick. So we'll call it a free pick, and it will be any of the other books I complete on my TBR this month. So that's how I'm participating in that readathon. Then I do have Budy Reads as well, because of course I do. Hi. So buddy read wise, we've already talked about Flowers in the Attic, which I'm reading with Alice and Jack, and we've talked about S, which I'm reading with Fraser. I am also reading The Poisoned Bible by Barbara Kingsolver with the lovely Sonia, who is a subscriber and I absolutely adore reading with. I hadn't realised quite how chunky this was. we haven't broken it down yet. I've made an attempt, but yeah, it's quite big, and it's not like got really big font or anything. It's just a massive book. I'm really excited to get to it though. So yeah, this would also work for nature on the cover. Yes, some ants and a plant. I don't know what plant that is. Anyone know what plant that is? Anyway, so I've got that one. Then the last Budy read, last but certainly not least, is The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas, which I'm reading with Alice and Fraser. Oh, good God. And I'm reading that on my Kindle. I don't have a copy, so that I can't see how big it is. But it's over 1,000 pages. It's oh, yeah. So we'll just add that into this massive August TBR as well. Why not? Why not? Who needs sleep when you have 1,000 page books to read, right? And then obviously I also have my Women in Translation TBR, which I've already done a video for. You can check that out, but we're not going to talk about that right now because there's enough books in this video without talking about that. So yeah, that is my TBR. So what do we have? We have these three plus Monte Cristo, small things like these, Ice Planet Barbarians, Anthropocene Reviewed, Empire of Gold, Flowers in the Attic, The Colony, Maps of Our Spectacular Bodies. So yeah, and obviously it's book along lists, so I want to read some of those too. But yeah, we'll give it a whirl. We'll give it a whirl. We can only read what we can read, right? So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Feel free to laugh in the comments. I will leave my translated fiction TBR here if you missed that, and I will catch you all very soon with another one. Thanks guys.